I was not supposed to be in the Hall of Continuance. That chamber was reserved for beings whose names were etched into history, warlords who had burned systems, queens who had unified galaxies, and ancient entities older than most stars. Humans were not on that list, especially not humans like me. I stood at the edge of the obsidian floor, boots echoing too loudly despite the vastness of the chamber. Above me, the ceiling shimmered with projected constellations, real-time star maps of the known galaxy. Entire civilizations lived and died under those lights. And at the center of it all sat Queen Vaelthara of the Aurelian Dominion. She was watching me. Every instinct I had screamed to keep my eyes lowered. In Aurelian culture, direct eye contact with the sovereign was not just disrespectful, it was a challenge. Yet something in her gaze held me there, pinned, examined, as if she were looking through me rather than at me. I was just a human envoy, a translator, a compromise. After the Dominion's failed invasion of Earth, the galaxy had decided humans needed representation. Not power, just a voice. And somehow, that voice had become mine. "Step forward," Vaelthara said. Her voice carried no echo, no amplification. It didn't need it. It resonated directly inside my skull, bypassing my ears entirely. I obeyed. With every step, the weight of 1,000 watching eyes pressed heavier against my spine. Alien nobles lined the circular tiers, tall insectoid strategists, crystalline philosophers, armored warsires bred for conquest. Every one of them could crush me without effort. And yet, none of them spoke. I stopped 10 paces from the throne. "Kneel," commanded one of the royal guards. Before I could move, Vaelthara raised a single finger. "No," she said calmly. "Let him stand." A murmur rippled through the chamber. Humans did not stand before the Aurelian queen. That was the first moment fear crawled into my chest. The past humans couldn't erase. The Dominion had underestimated humanity. That was the polite way historians phrased it. The truth was uglier. They thought we were weak because we were divided, because our ships were crude, because our weapons lacked elegance. What they failed to understand was that humans adapted faster than any known species. Within 6 months of first contact, we reverse-engineered alien shielding. Within a year, we turned their own battle doctrines against them. The war lasted 13 months. The Dominion withdrew, not defeated, but shaken. And Vaelthara ascended the throne shortly afterward. Now she ruled a fractured empire, and humans were the variable she could not control, which made me dangerous. "You fear me," Vaelthara said, her eyes never leaving mine. It wasn't a question. "I respect you," I replied carefully. The truth was closer to terror. She descended from the throne. That alone silenced the chamber completely. Aurelian queens did not leave their thrones unless war, execution, or destiny demanded it. She walked toward me with slow, deliberate steps. Her form was tall and radiant, her skin like molten starlight restrained within flesh. Symbols of authority hovered around her, floating sigils bound by quantum force, each representing a conquered system. She stopped directly in front of me, close enough that I could feel heat radiating from her. "Tell me, human," she said softly, "why do you smile when surrounded by those who could end you?" I hadn't realized I was smiling. I forced my expression neutral, but it was too late. "Habit," I said. "Or maybe instinct." "Instinct," she repeated, tasting the word. "You believe yourself safe." "No," I said honestly. "I believe I'll survive." That was the second moment fear took root, this time not in me, but in the room. What the queen saw. Vaelthara circled me slowly, like a star predator assessing unfamiliar prey. You are unarmed, she noted. Yes. You are biologically fragile. Compared to you? Absolutely. You have no authority here. That depends, I replied, then stopped myself. Too far. Her lips curved, not into a smile, but something more unsettling. Finish that thought. I swallowed. Authority isn't always granted. Sometimes it's acknowledged. Silence stretched. Then she stopped behind me. I felt it before I felt her touch. Her hand rested gently on my shoulder. The chamber froze. Aurelian royalty did not touch lesser beings. Ever. She leaned close enough that only I could hear her. These are the words you fear, she whispered. I see you. Every muscle in my body locked. Not because of her power, but because of her certainty. She stepped back, addressing the council. This human believes survival is a choice, she said. Not a privilege. Not a mercy. Her gaze returned to me. Tell them why. I exhaled slowly. Because humans don't wait for permission, I said. We endure. We adapt. And when necessary, we become. Some of the nobles recoiled. Others leaned forward. Vaelthara's eyes burned brighter. The crisis she couldn't solve. The Dominion was dying. That truth had been buried beneath ceremony and pride, but Vaelthara knew it. Their stars were fading. Their genetic lines had grown stagnant. Their enemies multiplied while their innovation slowed. They had conquered too much and learned too little. Humans were the opposite. Chaos-driven. Unpredictable. Terrifying. Perfect. You know why you are here, she said. Yes, I replied. You want to know if humanity will finish what the war started. And will you, she asked. I met her gaze fully now. Only if forced. The honesty startled her. You do not seek conquest. No, I said. We seek survival. Growth. Meaning. She studied me for a long moment. Then, to the horror of the entire council, she dismissed them. One by one, the nobles withdrew until only the queen and I remained beneath the stars. A choice beyond fear. You could save my people, Vaelthara said quietly. I could help, I corrected. And what would you demand in return? She asked. I hesitated. Recognition, I said. Not dominance. Partnership. Her hand hovered, then rested on my shoulder again, this time without ceremony. This is why I chose you, she said. Not your strength, not your intellect, but your restraint. She straightened. The Dominion will change, she declared, and humans will help guide it. My heart pounded. You'll face rebellion, I warned. I already do, she replied. But now I will not face it alone. The ending, what the galaxy remembered. Years later, historians would debate the moment the galaxy shifted. Some would say it was the signing of the Human-Aurelian Accord. Others would point to the technological renaissance that followed. A few would whisper about the queen who defied tradition and trusted a species once deemed inferior. But I knew the truth. It happened when she touched my shoulder and spoke the words I feared, not because they threatened me, but because they recognized me. I see you. In seeing me, she saw humanity. And in choosing humanity, she saved more than her throne. She saved the future.